So,
My name is Nicholas Zimmerman. My ID numbers is 02A1663. Today's date is December 31st, 2019. I'm located at Auburn Correctional Facility in upstate New York, and my cell location is E48 cell in E block. I want to kind of update everyone on a situation that's going on in here, a very serious situation. I got to E block on December 11th, 2019. The very next day after I got to this block, I witnessed a fight towards the end of the company involving a guy named D-Lo. Right now, that's the only name I have. That's his nickname. I'm working to get his official name and numbers. He had a fight on December 12th, 2019. The fight almost lasted for about an hour. He was cut during that fight, and pretty much the officer that was supposed to be watching the company at that time, he purposely left the company to allow this inmate to get assaulted. He was jumped by two guys in the back. One of them had a weapon. Two other guys had two weapons. They was blatantly being flashed all over the place, and this officer allowed that to happen. After this guy was assaulted, there's a porter here, which is trustee, if you want to call him. His name is Scotty. He works directly for the police. His name is Scott Lorenzo. His last name is Lorenzo. He works directly for the police. I'll get into his situation later, but I witnessed this guy, Scotty, tell the officer Delaney, spelling his name as Delaney. I witnessed him tell Delaney, yo, break out, something's about to go on in the back, they're about to get him. Delaney left his post for about maybe half an hour to about 45 minutes, and the fighting was going on in the back while we all sat there and watched this guy be physically assaulted for at least 45 to 50 minutes. He only came back when Scotty went up front and told him, all right, it's over, you can come back, and then that's when Delaney showed up. Alerted another officer that there was a fight in the back as if he didn't already know, and then he pulled his security pin and a whole bunch of officers showed up. That happened on December 12th, 2019. Following after that, December 21st, 2019, two inmates here. One inmate name is Winston Cox, 12A0459, and the other inmate name is Angel Alvarez, 16A 2536. These two inmates got into a fight, but the difference between your ordinary fight, inmate Alvarez was arguing with inmate Cox. Cox was inside of his cell and Alvarez was outside of his cell. I don't know, I can't remember what they was arguing about, but I know it was very loud. Everyone knew they was arguing. Delaney knew that they was arguing. It was obvious there was a situation. Delaney called over to Alvarez, and his exact words was, 9-cell, lock in right now. Alvarez is in 9-cell. He knew exactly what cell he was in. However, Alvarez yelled back to Delaney and said, you know what, crack 11-cell. Right in front of everybody out in the open, Delaney cracked 11-cell. Alvarez went inside the cell into Cox's cell, which is 11-cell, and assaulted him for about probably 3 to 4 minutes. Delaney allowed this to happen. He opened the guy's cell, opened Cox's cell, allowed Alvarez to go in there and assault him, and he was in there for about 3 or 4 minutes fighting before Delaney once again acted like he didn't know what was going on, called for backup. Another officer showed up. Delaney had to open the cell after the officer directed him to do it. That officer name is King. Delaney opened the cell, and King went in there, got Alvarez out the cell, put him on the wall, and his first question to him was, how the hell did you get in his cell? And everyone said Delaney opened the cell. Delaney tried to act like it was a mistake, that, with all the yelling and screaming, he couldn't hear what was going on. It was very apparent that he did this on purpose. The serious nature of this situation is that everybody covered up the situation, from the COs all the way up to the hearing officer. Officer King wrote the ticket as if he did not have to go inside the cell, or he didn't mention that Delaney cracked the cell and let the guy go in there. He didn't put that part in his ticket. He covered it up. The hearing officer covered it up. The sergeants that showed up on the scene, they all covered it up, but they knew that Delaney had opened that cell because he told them. Everyone was asking him, how did he get in the cell? And he told them, oh, that's my bad. I made a mistake. I cracked the wrong cell. But clearly he had told the other guy 9-cell lock-in. So he knew the guy was in 9-cell. There was no reason to open 11-cell. After the situation started to get a little crazy, and other inmates was telling inmate Cox that he should file a lawsuit because of what Delaney did, Officer King went to Cox and told him he needs to take one for the team and keep this quiet and just say they was fighting out on the company, blah, 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 make it look good, and that's how everything went down. But Cox is afraid for his life. He cannot step up for himself. He doesn't know what to do right now. And these situations are constantly happening here as far as officers allowing prisoners to get assaulted. Either they assaulting them or they allowing fights to go on, almost for hours at a time. Moving on to Christmas Eve, December 24th, there was a situation where the officers was trying to deny his phone calls for that night, claiming that it was Christmas Eve and the jail was on shutdown, and they said that a sergeant had approved them not giving us phone calls. We all had to protest. I led some other guys in the protest, and I told them to call for mental health and for supervisors and for medical people, staff to come up to our area so they could know what's going on. After a while, the officers realized that we wasn't going to quiet down, and they finally gave in to giving us only 10 minutes on the phone that night. All of these things lead up to the situation I'm about to explain right now. Also, there's a big situation here going on with the kiosk. The director says we're supposed to use the kiosk once per day for 15 minutes a day. However, the officers are giving it to us when they want to give it to us. They're also making mention that they want us to pay them cigarettes to use the kiosk, and they're saying on Sunday we can't use it because of something called CO Sundays, meaning that all COs have their time to relax. They don't have to do no work. And to be honest, there is no work in letting us use the kiosk because the kiosk is inside the slop sink, basically where you wash your clothes and stuff like that, and you can pretty much walk in and out of there whenever you want to. They purposely close it on Sunday so that we can't go in there and use the kiosk. There's no extra work for them, but they're claiming CO Sunday, which is completely illegal. There's another issue here that's going on. We cannot use the phones in the yard. The directives clearly say we could use the phone at recreation time. We're not being allowed to do that, and the reason why they don't want us using the phone because they want to discourage inmates from going to the yard because that's more work for them when more inmates go to the yard. So by telling everyone you can't use the phone, more people won't go to rec, which is less work for them. So we're only getting 1 half an hour phone call per day inside. We cannot go outside to use the phone at all. So here's where I'm at with this situation. On December 31st, 2019, I was denied a pair of slippers that was sent to me from Desiree Smith. Desiree Zimmerman now. She sent me a pair of slippers. It was alleged that the slippers had multi-colors in them, more than 2 colors or whatever like that. I haven't seen the slippers myself, but the director says, yes, slippers could be any color. It doesn't matter. They're saying that because it doesn't specifically say multicolor that I can't have them. Basically, they're harassing me in some type of way. So I refused to send the slippers back, and I asked for a sergeant review. They told me they was going to hold it for the sergeant review, but what they actually did was put down that I refused to sign for the package, and anytime a prisoner refused to sign for his property, they can either destroy it or donate it. So at this point, they gave me a receipt saying that the property was donated. They actually lied and said that I refused to sign for it. But I was told that it was being held for a sergeant review. Usually when they say donated, they're keeping it for themselves. It never makes it to the organization that they're supposed to be sending out to. That led me to get into about a 3-hour argument with police, staff, sergeants, everybody today. I let them know how I feel as far as prisoners being assaulted, everything that I've seen since I've been here. I really let them have it. I also let them know I'm going to be pressing charges on an officer based on what I've been seeing here. I'm going to write to Officer Special Investigation, the Commissioner's Office. I'm going to get my people involved. This was a very heated exchange for about 3 or 4 hours, probably longer than that. Extremely heated exchange. The things I said today cannot be taken back. They are very detrimental to their ego, to everything they stand for, everything they believe, and I don't know where this situation is going to lead after today. So I'm making this recording that just in case something happens to me, this is where I'm at right now. Also, I'm on a hunger strike right now. I've alerted mental health and medical that I'm not going to eat based on the slipper situation and everything that led up to it, not just the slippers, but everything that I'm going through here. they are aware of it. They're keeping track of it. But when I went down to see the nurse about the hunger strike, I also told her I had chest pains. I guess the chest pains that I was experiencing wasn't enough for Officer Tucker, so he decided to write me a ticket today for faking chest pains, asking for medical when I really don't need it. And he wrote me a ticket and put me on Keep Rock. So that's the status that I'm at right now. That is blatantly a form of retaliation just because I asked to see the nurse for the hunger strike and the chest pains. His claim is that the nurse told him that that I told her that I had chest pains an hour ago, so technically it wasn't immediate, and you're only supposed to ask for immediate medical when it's immediate. So this is how he's playing games, and he wrote a ticket about it. But the nurse told me to come back if I have any issues, chest pains or whatever like that. Feel free to come back. My blood pressure today was 99/147. My weight was 191 pounds. And actually, Delaney told me today that if I would have gave him a pack of cigarettes, he would have went and got the slippers for me, no matter if I couldn't legally have them or not. Also, he's like I said, he wants us to pay for the kiosk, and basically, this place is just out of control, just ridiculous. I'm asking everyone that's listening to this recording right now to call the Office of Special Investigation in Albany, to call the superintendent's office in Auburn Correctional Facility. I believe his name is Superintendent McCarthy. I'm also asking for everyone to call the New York State Police and play this recording for them. If you cannot remember everything I'm saying word for word, just ask for them to listen to this recording or forward the recording to them. Also let them know that you're going to be following up with their supervisors and other agencies about this issue, and you're not going to go away quietly about this, and that you want to see something done about this. Doing that will put everybody on alert as to what's going on. It will get these officers to back up when outside agencies come in here to interview me about this situation. And, a lot of this shit will stop without bringing some attention to this situation on the outside. It's just going to continue. These officers are out of control in this jail. It's like, I've never seen nothing like this before. And I wouldn't be making this recording if I didn't think that, my life was in danger or that they was going to set me up with some type of weapon in my cell. So the more people you notify on the outside about, please do not think that if you notify somebody it's going to make it worse. It's only going to make it better, because I've been dealing with these people for only 20 years, and when they know other people is getting involved in a situation, they will back up. That's one thing I can say for certain. So I'm asking you to alert as many outside organizations and officials about this situation as possible, okay? I can still use the phone, and I can still check my emails only once a day right now. So if you need to send me an update about anything, please do that. Thanks, everyone, for their time for listening to this, and I appreciate your support on the situation.